Checking in on your money now. It's hard to hit the ground running in the new year when it feels like you've been weighed down by all that holiday spending, right? We're starting 5 steps behind the finish or the starting line. Even with the best intentions and a planned holiday budget, it can be easy to overspend or underestimate how much you're going to need to spend. So how can you recover financially after the holidays? Financial expert Kyle Odell from Odell, Wingfield, Roseman, and Ship is here with some advice. I mean, you guys are a financial group. You help people get their finances in line. You help people manage money. That's your thing, right?
It is.
But you understand as much as the rest of us that sometimes coming out of Christmas, coming out of the holiday, we do feel like we're 5 steps behind the starting line.
It's tough to do, you know, and if we look at it, our beloved Broncos this year, unfortunately, they're going to miss the playoffs. And last year we were world champs.
Yeah.
But if we look at last year's team versus this year's team,
Different team.
It's a different team, but they're not huge differences, right? Hopefully a few little tweaks,
Sure.
and we'll be right back, you know, in position to compete again for a championship.
I see what you're throwing down, my friend.
Right. So I think we can say the same thing for our finances. Okay. A couple little tweaks, and we can get on the right path to really have success in 2017.
So let's talk about those tweaks. I mean, what are the things that we should be thinking about right now to start doing to get things back in line?
The first is I think we need to be careful about all the sales that are going to go on in January.
It's tempting.
It is. It is. It's tempting. But if
I need this.
Right. We can justify anything in our head, but if we look at it, you know, I think we probably actually need to return some items.
Yeah.
Right? We could probably return a couple things, put a little cash in our pocket. If we go on a 30-day financial diet in January, just to pull back, the month will fly by,
yeah.
right? Just pull back for 30 days, and that'll set yourself up for a little bit more success in, you know, heading into 2017.
So don't buy the stuff you don't need, meal plan, eat at home, that kind of stuff. Just for 1 month to kind of...
1 month.
Yeah.
1 month. Right? Yeah. And then the second thing, you know, a lot of times if you get money back on your tax return, right, let's file that as soon as possible so we can get that cash back and replenish our savings or build it up more. That way, if something happens, you know, the car breaks down, we need something around the house, we have the cash to take care of it instead of, you know, going right back into credit card debt.
Yeah. So go to your employer and say, can I get that W-2 as soon as possible?
Yes.
And you've got something you call the 50-50 trick. How does this work?
I love the 50-50 trick. So what that is if you spend money on anything that's outside of your budget, I don't care if it's $10 or $200.
So even if you stop at BK on the way home to pick up lunch, that's outside of your budget.
Yep. You spend $5, $6, $7 at BK. Take that same amount and require yourself to put that same amount in savings if it's outside your budget. So I don't care if it's $10 or $20 or whatever it is. And by the end of the year, by doing that, you're going to really build up some good savings. You're going to create some great habits for 2017 so that it's a better year than 2016.
And do you think that also forces you to think twice about spending outside of your budget? That's kind of the point.
That's exactly the point. It's going to cause you to pull back a little bit, but when you do spend money, it's going to make you save. And you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to feel better about that path that you're on.
And don't you think people often feel like no matter how much I have, it's never enough to cover everything we need? You know, if you got kids, I got 3 kids. It's, you know, they're taking lessons, they're playing sports, they're doing this, their school fees, yearbooks, et cetera, et cetera. It never feels like enough.
It never feels like enough. There's always that financial insecurity that we all have. And that's why it's so important to knock out that credit card debt and really start building up that cash so, you know, we can sleep better at night and make sure that, you know, that when the kids come to us, because they always want that pay raise, right?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Or that Lego set.
Right, that Lego set, right.
Remote control car.
The important thing is teach the kids that, right? Teach the kids how
And
important
they learn by example, don't they?
They do. Yeah. They do. They watch us more than we think.
Kyle, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kurt.
Great advice. Pleasure having you here. And a great time, of course, as we head toward the end of the year to think about this, Megan. You know, we can all do little steps to get our finances back in line.
Taking notes over here. All right, thank you.